My name is Mark. I'm a diver. I explore the deep sea. I find stuff that's never been found before, stuff that's really cool. But there's one dive that I'll never forget. One dive that changed my life forever was off the coast of Japan, just outside the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest pit on Earth. There's this place called Challenger Deep. It's so deep, no light can reach it. That's the whole freaking ocean compressed into a few miles. It's heavy, it's dark, it's freezing cold. Most people don't know anything about it because no one goes there. We were part of a private research mission. Our job was to study the seismic activity in the area, basically mapping out all the crevices that have never seen a single human being. There's no Google Maps for the ocean floor, believe it or not. So there's 5 of us. Pile into this brand new submersible called the Orca 7. It was supposedly state-of-the-art. The best, unsinkable. We dove down, each of us taking turns piloting. We were all doing our own thing. Most of us were excited. I was kind of nervous. I mean, if something goes wrong down there, you are screwed. There's no way out. No one's coming to save you. But we descended slowly and steadily into the darkness. As we passed 6,000 feet, I started feeling the pressure. At 12,000 feet, it was crushing. And then suddenly, the lights went out. The communications went out. We were on our own in total darkness. I immediately panicked. What do you do when the lights go out in a steel tube 12,000 feet underwater? Obviously, we tried to turn them back on. Nothing. We tried to contact the surface. Nothing. All we got was static. And then I heard it. A low, hollow boom that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It sounded like the ocean itself was groaning. And then the sub shook violently like it was being hit by a wave or something. Except nothing could survive down there. Then I felt it again. Another hit. And then the world exploded into a kaleidoscope of light and sound and metal. I remember screaming, but it wasn't my voice. It was this inhuman screech that sounded like nails on a chalkboard. When I came to, I was floating in the middle of the ocean floor, suspended in a cloud of particles. I remember coughing and sputtering seawater, ripping off my helmet and staring around in disbelief. The sub was gone. The only thing that remained was a trail of bubbles rising slowly to the surface. I looked back at the wreckage and saw the gaping hole where Diego had been sitting. Water was pouring in, and the walls were crumpling around him. He was sucked through a hole no wider than a car tire. I'll never forget his face. His eyes were wide with terror and his mouth was open in a silent scream. And then I looked down at myself. I was covered in cuts and bruises, and my diving suit was ripped and torn. Somehow I was still alive. I didn't know how long I floated there for. Maybe an hour, maybe a day. I don't know. I remember thinking that I should try to get to the surface, but I was at 31,000 feet underwater. There's no air, no oxygen, no light. You just keep going down. I knew that if I wanted to live, I had to make it back to the surface. So I began my ascent. But it's not like swimming up a ladder. When you're that deep, you just float. You let the water take you. I remember drifting past schools of fish, past rocks and boulders, past creatures that shouldn't even exist. I saw Diego. He was pulled out, sucked through a hole no wider than a car tire. Then I was alone. It took me 2 days to be rescued. 2 days of floating in the darkness, eating salt and wondering if I'd ever see the sun again. When they finally pulled me out of the water, I was a mess. I'd lost everything. My friends, my purpose, my sanity. The worst part was that I couldn't prove what had happened to me. The footage was gone. The hard drives were wiped clean. They said it was pressure damage, data corruption, but I know better. I know what happened to us. There are things in the ocean that we don't understand. Things that defy explanation. And sometimes, late at night, when the wind is howling and the waves are crashing against the shore, I hear it calling my name, but I think it let me go.